cybercrime. And today I bring a very, very cool topic, very important, hopefully very educating for you. So Travelers Insurance recently put out an article about 5 types of cyber criminals out there. I went ahead and consolidated that into 4. So here we go. The first type of cyber criminal is your social engineer. So the social engineer they use clever manipulation techniques to try to get people to they feed off of people's natural tendency to trust. So yes, we have that natural tendency in us to be trustworthy folks. So with that being said, there's 2 types of attacks that kind of fall within this category. The first one being your phishing attack. Basically, this is a way or method for attackers to use email, social media, instant and text messaging. They trick victims into either providing sensitive information or visiting malicious URLs. So the whole purpose of this is to compromise their systems or obtain that personal information. Watering hole technique is when attackers inject malicious code into public web pages. So yes, they put this malicious code into just random websites out there that you would visit, or they create websites with this purpose. And once the victim visits that page, guess what? Then they install a backdoor Trojan, which obviously can then capture a lot of information from your system. This is a very common tool in cyber espionage. So, how do you combat this? Well, number 1, education is very important. We definitely recommend that if you don't have, if you have some kind of monthly meetings with your employees or, weekly meetings, just talk about cybercrime. It's very important, and your employees are the first line of defense for you in helping you fight this. Number 2 is you want to always verify the source before replying or providing any personal information. In many cases, a cyber criminal will actually use the name of someone that you are familiar with. And, obviously be careful when you're surfing the web. As these websites are out there. They are trying to lure visitors to them. The one thing that I will very heavily recommend is do not click on hyperlinks. The second type of cyber criminal is your good old hacker, the hacker. These people, are very focused on obtaining password information. So this is about 2/3 of what the confirmed data breaches across, the nation are about. They leverage weak defaults and stolen passwords. So one of the things that is very common when you talk about hackers is that there are a lot of malware out there that can get installed in your computer and can actually track the keystrokes of what you are entering, what you're keying. So even if you are keying in that very, very protected password, they are, capturing this information. So that is why malware is not something that, you want to take as a joke when it comes to your, especially workstations. So, did I just say workstations? Hello, sorry about that. So how do you combat this? Once again, education, employee engagement and education is very important. The other thing is you want to have regular scheduled checks and cleanup of malware on your devices. I'm not just talking about your PCs or your computers, but you want to also make sure that if you use a tablet, if you use a laptop, for work, that you are doing regular cleanups on these things. Make sure that you are using secure passwords. So a strong secure password will incorporate a combination of upper and lowercase letters with 1 special character minimum and 1 number. You want to change passwords regularly as well, and use trustworthy password management software in order to, keep track of your changes to passwords. Do not use a protected, even if it's a protected Excel spreadsheet, not recommended, nor are post-it notes. So jot that down. The next one up is your rogue employee, just like that. Your rogue employee, basically disgruntled or unethical employees present a serious threat to companies. About 15% of security breaches come from this source. So what can you do to combat this? Number one, restrict access to sensitive data and make it on a need to know and a need to access basis. This will help reduce your threat. Number two, you want to ensure that you have an IT employee termination policy in place. So this will ensure that there's a step-by-step process happening along with HR in regards to terminating access for an employee that is leaving the company. And this is very important, guys, even if this is not necessarily a termination on bad terms. So it's just, very good protocol to have in place. And number three, there are ways to ensure that you're that you're using log and monitoring of employee access on their workstation. And the last one up is the good old ransomware attacker. Yep, so ransomware, we've talked about this 100 million times, but basically an attacker's purpose is to infect your computer with a malware that will lock down your access to your files, to your data, to your computer. Many times they will ask for a ransom to be paid in non-traceable Bitcoin payments. So what can you do? Well, employee education and engagement, I've said it like 3 or 4 times. It's super important, guys. Number two is you want to ensure the majority of people that fall victim to this is because they are not following the information security rules, including encryption and frequent backups. And they're also not using protective local network measures such as your firewall and antivirus. And then the next thing up is obviously make sure that your workstations have some kind of regular scheduled checkup and cleanup. Malware is not your friend, guys. So on that note, there you have it. I will post a link to that article that I shared if you want to, take a look and get some more information. Now, if you are a client of Paradigms, then you should know that we are proactive when it comes to security. And one of the things that we like to do is proactively make sure that we are monitoring and cleaning out all of your workstation devices. So there's that. Now, your challenge. I am challenging you to just make your children feel extra special this week. So I say that at least for 1 hour during the week, or during your evening time with them, you put them in a drawer, your cell phones, your laptops, anything that is technology driven that takes our focus away into Facebook and into all of these other social media platforms. Lock them away and dedicate that time to your children, just for 1 hour before bedtime, and just see if you have any cool stories. Please do share them, because we can all learn from each other. On that note, you guys, go forth and conquer. Make it a fantastic week, and I will see you next week. Ciao.